wait? You're gonna wait?
You gotta talk like,
And that's that. That's that. So we are ready to go. So I want to welcome all of you to Girl Chat. I am so excited that you're here. It is March and we have covered some really good topics in the first 2 months of the year. But of course, you all know that I'm bringing all of my favorite girls on, and we're going to tackle, the hard stuff, the fun stuff, the good and meaty stuff, and sometimes we'll tackle some superficial stuff like what everybody's wearing. We'll do all of that this year. But today I wanted to bring my babe on, Katie, and she is going to talk to us and me about some stereotypes, because I think that we all face them, we all battle them, and being church girls or women of faith, how we can recognize those and how we can break those cycles of living within those restrictions of stereotypes in the faith world and the secular world. But before we jump into our conversation, Katie, can you introduce yourself to the people?
Sure. Petra, thank you so much for inviting me. You know how much I love you. So we don't have to go on and on and on, but thank you so much. Yes. I'm privileged, I'm honored, and we're going to leave it like that. I'm Katie McKnight from Gainesville, Florida. I'm a mom of two amazing sons, Emery and Alvin. They are now respectively 13 and 11. And I have to say how old they are for real because they're not my babies anymore. So I have to be careful with that. My secular job is working for the University of Florida in academic advising in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. But I'm also a mom and a taxi and a cook and a seamstress and all that extra. But no, I'm also the founder of I'm Dope, which is a women's empowerment social media movement. We started about 3 years ago. And I also am the owner of Katie and Company, and we put on and we manage executive event management services. If you want to reach out to me on Facebook, we're under I'm Dope. On Instagram, we are Dope Together, and I look forward to connecting with all new people in the world.
So before we move from her introductions, because she went down her whole list and her whole list is legit, but she plugged I Am Dope, which is her social media movement, but they also have an expo coming up this month.
Yes, we do. March 27th is our expo here in Gainesville. The reason I'm doing it here in Gainesville is because I found myself over the years going out of town to experience expos and things for women and fun things to do. And to be honest with you, we got some pretty dope women here in Gainesville. Like, yes. Especially the one that's on the other side of the screen. We have some pretty dope women. And I was like, we can do this here in Gainesville. So yes. I'm excited about the expo. We're almost packed to the brim in reference to vendors. We still have tickets left. If you're interested in any of this information, our website is wearedopetogether.com. And we have a blog on there too. So you can just visit it and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I love that my friends do the stuff. Like that's what I love. I like to surround myself with women who do the stuff. We don't just talk about it, but if there's something that you find lacking, you fill the gap. And I think that's really important, and it helps us in the conversation that we're going to talk about today is women and stereotypes and recognizing and breaking them in the faith and secular world. And one of the biggest stereotypes is that women don't look out for women.
Oh, no. No. I mean, just think about my whole platform. The hashtag is We Are Dope Together. And I'm a firm believer that we have to be together in order to accomplish the goals that we have set in our minds. We cannot do it by ourselves. No. It just can't happen. And the honest to God truth, I don't even try to do it by myself because I don't know everything. No. And it's okay if Petra knows how to do it better than me. I'm going to say, Petra, how you did this, girl, now? Because I want to know. Yeah. So no, we as women, we can work together. Once we put whatever error that we have aside and realize that we're just two women having a really good time, we can learn and grow from each other.
That's the thing. And I think it's super important for us to be open to that, to partnering with people. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've had to learn because my platform is friendship. And so for me, I have great friends and I'm used to that. And then when you introduce that concept to other women, they're like, mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's their look, right? They're like, mm-mm. No. We don't do that. And it's like, you absolutely can have meaningful, quality, godly relationships with other women without them looking to take something from you. Can they learn from you? Yes, but they're not looking to take and they're not looking to tear down. And it's so important that we address these types of stereotypes, besides the stereotypes of church girls are either too ratchet or they have no fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a big stereotype too, right? Right. See?
I mean, me and my friends have a lot of fun. And we don't do all the listen, it's so funny. Because I do travel a lot. Most of my friends live outside of the area. My core friends, they don't live here. So
Right,
I do
right.
travel a lot and people are like, oh, you're always with your friends. And what y'all be doing? I went to Atlanta in December with a group of girls and we literally just watched
Right.
Christmas movies and we made cookies and we cooked like, and that was so much fun to us. Like being a mom and working and your life can be busy. So sometimes you don't want to do all the extra that comes along with like traveling. You just want to sit in the couch in your on the couch in your pajamas, and that's fine.
And I think that that's also taking the pressure off of what fun is.
That's good, Petra.
You know what I mean? Because I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's a part of what stereotypes are is perceptions. And so it's this perception of what fun is. It's the perception of what a good time is. It's the perception of what a faith girl is. Like all of these things. Did I lose Katie? There she is.
I'm sorry. You know, I live on the
It's
other
so
side of Gainesville, and our service is absolutely
no,
bonkers.
that's fine. Actually, you guys, if you saw me looking down, I was texting Robbie to tell him I could hear him and Evie downstairs. So if you guys hear them in the background, y'all,
Oh, I can't wait to meet her. Oh,
you are gonna fall in love,
but you
Katie.
already know.
I mean, we're gonna get back to the topic, guys. But
Okay.
as you all know, girl chat is girl chat, so we talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Mhm.
But that little girl has literally changed my entire world. Like my
Oh,
boys changed my life, but this child changed my world. And I think that that's also a thing because I was very much so deeply rooted in being a boy mom.
mhm.
I am very happy to be a boy mom. I'm good at being a boy. It is terrifying to think of having a little girl, but I look at her and yeah, I don't
Oh,
think she's ever not
Petra.
me. Like, like honestly, and it's so amazing to step out of our comfort zones. And again, this may not be exactly the topic, but it is the topic, right? Because
Mhm.
we allow ourselves to be restricted in our minds and our doings because of what other
Mhm.
people have taught us about certain things or what other people think about certain things.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't have my Evie girl.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, I can't wait
like
to meet her. I want COVID
you're
to be over so we can just meet her and give her all the loves.
yes, I need the world to open up. Well, actually, I need everybody who's not staying home to stay home so we can all get better and be well and then be outside together. Because I'm tired of being on punishment, personally.
And just wear your mask if you do have to go somewhere. And
Yes.
I can go on and on about that, but we're gonna try to stay on topic. Also, wash your hands.
Why
Petra. I'm just
is
not
that
sure
something that even has to be said? Why are we there?
why do we have to put a sign up to tell you to wash your hands? Were you not doing that normally? I'm just confused.
That's what I want to know.
I'm
I had the exact same questions. Like, I didn't know that this was something that we needed to teach people. I didn't know that. I did
I'm
not know
just
that.
so
Not
confused.
adults.
And I'm just confused by that.
A
Like
thousand.
signs everywhere, like make sure you wash your hands. But I'm 37. My kids are children and they know to wash their hands. So we have
Yeah.
to tell other adults too.
Mm.
Okay.
I see the signs that tell you to do the ABCs while you wash your hands, so you'll wash them long enough.
Oh,
Right, exactly.
you're so sweet. Oh.
And that's fine. So we're gonna be good. We're gonna stay on topic, but
Okay.
I
Yes.
really want us to really embrace this concept of what stereotypes are and how to recognize them.
Mhm.
And you and I were a part of a conference recently, and you were kind of talking about some stereotypes and stigmas, and it made me think, like,
Mhm.
what are some of the stereotypes that you've experienced that you've had to both recognize and kind of, we're not going to have that on me.
Oh yeah. A few. I mean, this is a candid conversation.
Hmm.
And I'm actually divorced. So being a divorced mom of two,
Yeah.
a lot of people and their feelings gravitated to not focusing on growing my company, not focusing on growing my business. And honestly, your only concern are your children.
That.
And I was like, yeah, but no, I love my children more than anything else, but I'm also a person too. And there's no way that I can teach my children to be a stable adult, both emotionally and financially, if I don't show them that the simple etiquette of hard work. And sometimes hard work is getting off from work at 5 o'clock, getting them from school, home and fed, and then on a laptop working for the next job. That was another stereotype I had to break. Talking about the church world, my husband was a minister of music.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't realize that even that title is a serious job. So as a minister of music's wife, at the time, I literally had to, be in my place and not say certain things. And I was like, but that's not me. I'm a very verbal person, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I mean in a very nice way. I'm not rude or anything.
Of course.
But I'm going to tell you how I feel, and I'm going to follow through with it and move on. So it's a lot of stereotypes that we as women, pastors' kids that we've had to adjust to. All pastors' kids are not bad. We do have a life outside of church.
Yes.
We like to have fun outside of church, and that does not make us bad because we're with our friends at the movies or a restaurant or the mall, or we go out of the country with our homegirls. That doesn't make us bad. Our life, God is the center of our life, but our life does not revolve around the church. Our world is so much bigger. I mean, that's just even in reference to ministry. You can't just do ministry in your four walls.
Girl, y'all put a pin in that.
You have to be able to go out to the highways and the hedges, is what the Bible says.
That's what it's
so. If you let your light shine of what God has done within you, people will see the difference in you. You don't have to walk around with a sign saying, I'm a PK, so I have to act this way.
Right.
We're going to be the way that we are. God is going to still shine through us, and we're going to still have fun doing it. So, a lot of stereotypes and we had to break through.
A lot of them. And I love that you brought up being a PK, because it is often that I'm out and about and someone knows me that I don't know, but they still have an opinion, or they feel the unctioning of this Holy Spirit to come and tell me X, Y, Z. And it's like, I'm 34, pumpkin. Like I'm good. Like, I respect my parents. I absolutely respect Jesus. I do my absolute best to do what I believe he's calling me to do, but I only have one set of parents and they don't call me. Like, for real. Like, I mean, so my favorite thing is shoulders. So a lot of my pictures, a lot of my videos, like, I have my shoulders out. You will not believe the types of conversations that I've had. Like, wow, don't you want to take some pictures covered? I am covered.
You are covered.
Like, I'm absolutely covered.
Very nice.
Girl. And I'm like, what is it? And I have to remind people, like, your discipleship and how well you do it is your first interactions and forms of engagement with people. It is not you beating the Bible or wearing a sackcloth. It is literally your interactions with people. So friendship is a form of discipleship. How you communicate with someone is a form of discipleship. If you're running up on me talking about my shoulders instead of celebrating Christ, showing me how to live a prosperous life in him, then what are we doing?
I'm a big advocate for that. I'm a huge advocate for that. Because at some point it comes across as your opinion, and it's not the Bible. And I'm not a preacher at all. Neither one of us. Well, I don't know, Petra.
No, don't do that. No.
I don't know, Petra. I've seen some Facebook Lives and some services.
Come back this way. Back this way.
I don't know. I'm not a preacher. I can't say
Ignore her. Nope.
But, my core concern, even with my children, is their relationship.
That's it.
You're not going to get it all right. We don't get it all right.
No.
But I want you to have the relationship. I talk about it on my I'm Dope lives. Yeah. I know this is how, and even at 37, over the last few years, my relationship has gotten better with Christ to the point where I'm literally able to hear him. If you're not in that space in your relationship with God where you can't hear when he speaks to you,
Yeah.
let's do some talking. Let's find out what is it on your mind that's so heavy that you can't hear what God says. No, you're not shouting every Sunday. No, you might not be speaking in tongues when they sing that song, but how is your relationship with him? And that is what's so important. So knowing your relationship with God and the examples that you lead, you can have your shoulders out and your cute tattoo can show. And I know that you still love the Lord and he loves you.
That's really it. Like, and he loves me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, it's important for people to realize that he created us. And so he knew these things, these intimate details, these desires, these parts of our personalities, our character. He knew those things, and he still called his creation good.
Oh my goodness.
He still called his creation good. And there's so many stereotypes that as women, we're constantly having to recognize and say, that's not the one that I'm going to be restricted by.
Mm-hmm.
So not just I'm going to be a working mom. I may work a couple of jobs. Not just I'll be divorced. Not just I'll have, multiple, like whatever. But there's so many stereotypes that each of us have to individually pinpoint for ourselves and being comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we have to start with what you said in the beginning is empowering each other to be vulnerable and have a safe space with other women, because women understand women.
Mm-hmm.
Men are cool, but women understand women.
Another thing I tell women too, God gave us, he downloaded in us this special gift. People call it intuition, but it's discernment.
That
God gave us discernment.
That's it.
And when you have that relationship with him, I can promise you that he'll be like, mm-mm. You might not want to hear the mm-mm. You might not want to hear it, but he'll say, no, that's not it. No, she's not the one. Don't do it. So trust, you got to trust your discernment. God will never lead you astray. He will never lead you down the wrong road, ever.
No, that's not in his nature.
So with my discernment, there has been times that my feelings were hurt because I was hoping a relationship with another woman would be better, but it doesn't discount the woman that she is. She just wasn't the one that was supposed to have that relationship and friendship with me.
Oh, okay. So I think that's important for us to get. Everybody is not meant to be our friend, and that's okay. It's not a personal thing.
Not a personal thing.
It's just not the right fit.
Yeah, and it's really okay because they could be the perfect fit for someone else.
I say the same thing. I think that's a stereotype right there. Thinking that if someone doesn't want to be friends with you or doesn't fit being a friend with you, then they're horrible or they're mean or they're nasty or they're hating or they're backbiting, like all these things. Like, actually, they probably just weren't the right fit. You don't want a placeholder. You want the right fit. And that's hard because a lot of us, we're trying to navigate and we're trying to navigate well, but we miss the mark.
Mm-hmm.
We miss the mark because we want a certain friend. Like we see this person and we're like, oh, yeah, that her. I want her to be friends. She's amazing. Oh my God, that's the person. And then when you get connected, you're like,
never mind.
Never mind. And there's nothing wrong with them. It's just like we don't vibe. Like we're not.
And again, it's really okay. They vibe with someone else well, and you can still say, hey girl, good seeing you. It is good seeing them, but it's okay. They have a whole person that they're vibing with, and you are fine within yourself. If we can get over that, that's in friendships and relationships. I tell people that too. Being single, I've been single now 3 years. Yeah, it's okay. Just because that person didn't choose you doesn't mean that you are not the one. You just wasn't the one for them. And it's really okay. We have to learn to accept that and move on, because you don't know what's next or what God has planned. So you might have liked him a lot, girl. Like, I really liked him, girl. But he just didn't like you enough. And that's okay. Let him go on. And life still continues to go on. It doesn't discount or discredit either one of you.
You just said that you've been single for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the We Are Dope Together has been birthed for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
You have been taking a lot of what people would consider a broken space and creating a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also connected other people to the right people in
Uh-huh.
that season because you have this executive planning, you're doing all, you're moving strategically, right? And so I think that what I want people to get from that is the stereotype that you stay broken is not real.
It's not real. But
It's
I'm gonna also say this. It's okay to sit in your broken space for a moment.
sure.
So you'll know how it is to be liberated.
Yeah.
It's really okay. It's okay to sit in that broken space for a moment because once you're not broken anymore, you realize, oh, okay, this is what it feels like. If you fly through that broken time in that broken space, you're not going to be fully healed.
That I
You
agree.
won't
Like
you won't
I
be
do.
healed.
But
Mm-mm.
it's amazing to me, like all of these things that you were able to do and to navigate and strategically put into place, even from coming from what people would consider a broken place. You don't stay there. Like you heal.
Mm-mm.
It takes time.
It takes
And there are
time.
a lot of things that are different than what you probably anticipated. But how many of us have gone through that and we thought that it was insurmountable?
You know, I still right now to this day, I pray for marriages and people who are engaged because I always want them to be able to um, have success in their marriages. And even though I'm a divorced person, because no one gets married and think that they're going to be divorced. But
Mm-mm.
even in the Christian life, stuff happens.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and you have to continue to move on. So there was a point where I was really broken, and at that point is when my sisters, my real friends, because I only have brothers, so
Right.
my friends are my sisters, and they really showed themselves mighty and strong. God showed Himself mighty and strong through them, and I realized how togetherness helped me through that time, and that's how We Are Dope Together was birthed. Because
Yes.
in that situation, you have a choice to make. You can either be bitter or you can decide to be a better person. And I decided
Mm-hmm.
to take the route to be a better person. And because of it, I know because of it, without a shadow of a doubt, me and my ex-husband have a really good friendship, and we
Mm-hmm.
raise our boys in the best way possible. Like he's coming over tomorrow to help set up a fish tank because I'm not doing it. So y'all call your dad and he
Mm-hmm.
gonna come over and set it up because we both chose to be better in the situation instead of being bitter. That comes along with maturity.
Uh-huh. A lot of it.
It
A
comes along with a
lot
lot of
for sure.
maturity.
And a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of vulnerability because what you've just described is also you finding Katie and seeing what
Oh,
Katie needs and who Katie is and how Katie needs to thrive. I think that that's a big vulnerability is huge. And that's, again, a stereotype that we face because we're told you can do it on your own. You need to be strong. You need to suck it up. You need to make things happen. You make the
mhm.
household run. You just keep on the pretty face. Everything that happens in your house stays in your house.
And you know that goes along with breaking the stereotype also because when you're married, you are Mrs. Pindar.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I went from being Mrs. Johnson
Mhm.
back to Katie, and I hadn't been Mrs. Johnson I hadn't been Katie in 11 years. So I was like, wait, what?
It's
What do
different.
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different, but it's yeah, like we're every in the McKnight Johnson household, everybody's good.
And but that's it. Everybody is good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like there's again, you don't have to stay in this space. Yes, you can rest there, you can feel there, you can grow there, you can heal there, but you're not required to stay there and you don't have to be bitter. You don't, but you can be better. And that goes for all the stereotypes that are placed on you because people don't know. Sometimes people think that they're doing what's right for you when they're coming and telling you these things or they're putting these
Mhm.
restrictions because they want you to have what they believe to be the Christian life. And you're like, I don't even know what that means.
I can
What does
just
that mean?
live and let God lead me, but I'm just living. That's all I can do.
Like literally, that's it. That's all I got for you. I can't do no more. I can't do
Mm.
any more. But I think it's really, really important for us to take the time to be vulnerable with ourselves to find out what it is that we need and where we're going. Because what may be a stereotype or restriction for you may not be one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because what
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about, you're like, I was going through this season and my sister showed up for me, and then I was able to birth this movement, right? And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I may have been like, nah, I'm gonna put him in a pine box and we're gonna go on about our day.
That's interesting that you say that, because during my season, during that time, I would call my mom,
Yeah.
and my parents next month they'll be married 55 years. So my mom, she's so sweet. She was like, all I can do is pray for you, girl, because I ain't never had to experience this before. And I was like, Mom. So
I love it.
it was like all I had was my girlfriends
Yep.
who have gone through divorces or really bad breakups, and it was like, okay, come on, you can do it. Let's pick it up. Come on, Katie. What are you doing? Come on, Katie. So no, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's important. So I want to talk about some tips that you can give the girls about how to recognize stereotypes and also how to break down those restrictions and to do it in a loving way.
So I don't know if I have like specific pointers, but what I can tell you is that whenever you're doing something that doesn't feel authentic to you, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Always move in the way and in the space that is comfortable for you. So once you feel yourself going into an area and you're like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this, or this is not what I want to do, don't do it. Like I always tell people, no is a complete sentence. No period is a complete sentence. And that's it. That's all you have to tell them.
That's it.
You don't have to say anything else but no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, thank you. You can say it like that. Always be authentic, because whenever you're not authentic and whenever you're not being transparent, we can see through you. Like we know when you're lying. We know when you're acting. We know when you're putting on. So I don't know if I have like 1, 2, 3. All I can say is make sure everything you do, no matter what it is, make sure it is authentic to you, and make sure you're moving in the space that you want to move in. Because if you don't, you'll be uncomfortable. It'll look uncomfortable. It won't be completed the way that it needs to be completed. Yeah. And you won't be happy with it. Whatever you're doing, no matter if it's sitting down talking with friends, cooking food, out on a date, whatever it is, you won't be happy with it because you aren't being true to yourself. Always, always, always be true to yourself in every single thing that you do, because it shows when you're not. It really does. And again, it's okay to say no. I think that's the one of the first things I learned was no. And when you say it and you feel it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm done. I can go. I was so used to saying, oh, okay, yeah, I can work that out. I can switch that around. No. It's just too much.
That
it's too much.
That's it. It's too much. And again, it's going back to identifying what you need and how you need it. Because until you know you're never going to be able to recognize these restrictions on you, and you're never going to be able to effectively say no the way you need to.
And set boundaries for yourself. Once you set boundaries for yourself, you're not going to go over them. You set them yourself, and you are not going to allow anyone else to tear that wall down. Set those
for
boundaries.
Yourself and others. Because how others engage with you too. A lot of times we give people space and we don't leave space for ourselves. And I think that's me. That's the thing that I've had to learn. That's the biggest thing, because I think that the way that I was raised, and there's no diss obviously to my parents, but you make space for people. Like when people need you, you do that. You're available to them. You listen to them. You're always on. Right? And I finally had to be like, this is overwhelming. This is absolutely overwhelming to always make space for other people, and it's not being reciprocated to me. Like I can't do that all the time. And there's also the fact that there are some people that don't deserve that. They just
really.
I don't have it for them. Like, when you really get to know certain people and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I can't do it. And I think, again, learning myself better and realizing what was actually stressing me out and what the anxiety was coming from. And it really is this mentality and this idea, you make space for everyone. You make space for people. I'm fine with that. But it was the everyone. And so
Yep.
having to learn that was hard, and being able to say no and mean no, not just say no, but
mean it.
that.
Your parents are great examples of making everyone around them comfortable and
Yes.
happy. I'm not sure how they do it, because I'm just like, how? And they have been doing it their entire lives. This
It's a
isn't something
thing.
that just happened.
Yep.
I'm just like, you're not sleepy?
No.
No. And how do they do it? It's like a supernatural strength that God gives them.
That.
And they're just able to do it. But you know what? That's their calling.
Yes.
This is another thing. If you walk outside of your calling, copying someone else, you will get burnt out. Your parents, because me and you are talking, your parents have been the same way that they've been with people for years.
Yes.
It's because God gives them the strength to do that. That is their ministry.
Yes.
That is their calling. They're walking in it. You can't do what the Dixons are doing if that's not your calling, because you will get burned out.
Yes.
I have physically seen your mom and have been like, you come over here, because those people, you've done enough now.
Right.
I'm serious, because you're going to get burned out by doing it. Stay in your calling, walk in your lane. That's another thing that you got to not do, ladies.
That's huge. That's huge. And Katie's right. Katie's known my parents since she was little. So this is a real, you're getting like the nitty gritty for real. But it's true. Like, you got to stay in your lane, because a lot of us, we see the highlight reel and it looks good. It feels good. I want to be doing that. I want to have that type of move. And it's like, and they're my parents. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. God bless
I don't
y'all.
know how they did it, Petra. And we used to be in church every day, all day, same night, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, with children. You think about it. Your mom had three of you all.
You're not remembering rehearsals. You're not remembering rehearsals.
Listen, it was 3 of y'all, and you have 3 kids now.
Yes.
So think about it. And they still cooked dinner.
You sure did.
And after everybody was in the bed at night, they still were able to spend time with their husbands. Like, how, Sway?
That was me. I mean, I bless God for my parents and their their example. But I often tell my mom, I am so thankful for you. Petra Michelle is over here. And don't tell Robbie none of that stuff that y'all be doing, because no. This house runs differently.
A little bit differently.
We run on regular gas. Y'all are on premium.
And you know what? That's another stereotype, and then I'm going to stop talking. Our moms raised us, but we're running our households a little differently from theirs. And we have to say, oh, but hold on, but this is what works here in this house. But they're like, but over here, this is what works for us. Yeah, that's another stereotype. I guess they thought we were going to be exactly like them. We are like them in a lot. With their foundational rules and everything they laid for us is the perfect. Like, it's perfect. But we do some things a little differently over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's another stereotype we had to break. We are not our mamas.
And we love them. 1,000%. Okay, so don't y'all be showing this to Michelle to my Petra talking out her neck. Okay?
Oh, I love you, Michelle.
Right. Like, I love, but it is very, very true, even down to the little things. Like, Robbie does the majority of the cooking here. My dad doesn't cook. Yeah, girl. Petra for special occasions. Okay,
Petra.
Like,
we're gonna talk about that off the camera.
Every day.
We're gonna talk about that off camera.
It's true. But
it's okay though.
It is.
Okay.
It is. I mean, I think that we all have to be comfortable with ourselves and with our households and what we're building. And that it matters, because again, we were just talking about looking at someone else's highlight reel, and we think that's what matters and that's what's most important. But what we have matters, and who we are matters, and how we do that matters, right? Because like you said, God already showed us what we need to do. We have that in us, right? And so we're good by ourselves. We don't have to add the extra spice. We're good. But I think that it's hard sometimes for us to grab a hold to that, because we get distracted. I think we get distracted. And I think that's why a lot of us take social media breaks. I think that's why a lot of us post, what is that, on December 31st? Some of y'all ain't gonna be on my friend list next year. I hate all that stuff.
I hate all that stuff. I just feel like,
I'd be like,
you know, I said, yep, you're right. I'm not going to be, because I'm tired of seeing you post that every year. So let me go ahead and unfriend myself.
I do that. I do it every time. Like, we're
Yeah.
done. We're done. I can't stand it. But now that I've had a better understanding, even just in our conversation, of realizing they're probably doing this because they're seeing other things and thinking that they're missing out. And so we have to announce that we're moving into the next phase. You don't have to announce your next phase. You don't have to announce your next season, your next move. Like, you do what's best for you and what God is calling you to do. I mean, we just talked about our parents. What God is calling you to do is just as important as what God has called them to do.
Amen.
It's not lessened by anything, right? It's the foundation that matters. And then how he tells us to build is what also matters, because it's going to be different.
You know, I spoke one time at a conference a few years back, and it was helping women find their purpose. And it's important for everyone to know that you have a purpose. Everything that God created has a purpose. I use the example of a sloth. A sloth is like the slowest animal on the earth.
Yes.
It moves so slowly, and you would think, what are you doing, and what is your purpose? A sloth eats one of the most deadly insects in the world.
I didn't know that.
It's the only animal that can eat that insect, and they are the ones that can eat them and kill them. Like that, I think that if we as humans, if we're bitten by it, we can die from it, and a sloth eats it. Okay, that's your purpose, to make sure we still stay alive. Thank you, Jesus, for the sloth.
Wow.
Everything has a purpose. So your purpose might not be the same as mine or Petra or the next person, but understand that you do have one. Seek God, ask God for guidance. He'll help you find your purpose. He will.
He always does. He always does. God is really good at not failing.
I mean, we're still alive on this earth that rotates on what?
On what?
And we haven't fallen off. We're still here.
Can we talk?
What is it rotating on? I don't know.
I thought I was the only person that thought that way. I'm like, nobody else. Nobody else.
And why don't we turn like when it turns? Like, we chilling. You realize that, right?
I've always wanted to say, well, when is he gonna like flip the switch off, and then we're all just gonna
just fall down? No, Jesus, catch me up. Let me get in the rapture, Lord. Don't let me fall down.
I need to rise, God. I need to rise.
Come get me.
It's real. It's it's really, really real.
I'm serious, honey.
But I was definitely that person that would ask that question. So we're turning on what?
Where is it?
Are y'all sure? Because I feel concerned, but I was the person. So that's that.
That's faith goals. Ain't that what it is? Come on,
hello.
That's faith goals right now.
No, yes, that is totally faith goals. But you better plug your book right now. Now that I just thought.
I mean, I just have an ebook. Listen, let me tell you again. Me trying to do everything on my own, and I was like, you know what? This is something for me. This is mine. Let me try it. So I did an ebook. It's only $6.99 because it's just something I did. And you can purchase it on the website, wearedopetogether.com, if you're interested. It is a book of affirmations. It's an affirmation ebook. I think it's 54 affirmations in the book. I was going to stop at 30, but God literally just kept giving me more. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll put them there too then, God. Let me not stop at 30 then. It was going to just be like a little 30-day devotional, but I mean, and it helped me through it, because when you go through bad times, sometimes you don't feel like you're good enough. And I was like, okay.
But you got the juice.
I got to dig my way up out of here. So, God, you got to help me, because I can't cry in front of my kids like this. Yeah. God, you got to help me. I can't stay in the bed. I got to get up and cook breakfast. And I got to cook dinner. God, I can't stay here and cry all day. I need you to tell me I'm okay. I need you to tell me that I need to hear you say, you're beautiful. You can do it. You're bold.
That's it.
Stop. No apologies. I need you to help me do it. And I would wake up in the middle of the night and write down the stuff he tells me in dreams. And I'm like, okay. Oh, that's what this is. Okay, God, I got you.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I'm also going to say, now that you're done, it is not just any old little book. She called it a little book and it's just $6.99 and it's just thrown together. It's not that. Okay. So if you're wanting an intentional tool to help you build a better life and to begin to speak life over yourself so that you can have greater impact and greater engagement with those around you, then you need to get this book of affirmations, because it ain't no little ebook, and you ain't never gonna say that again. It is not a little ebook.
Thank you. You know, that's interesting. That's such a confirmation, because I'm going to do a live on my I'm Dope page, because I was talking to someone and she was like, I'm a small business owner, and the Lord told me to say, stop allowing people to say that they're small business owners. Stop it. You're not a small business owner. You own a business. You're a CEO. You're a founder. Take
Period.
that small out of it.
Uh-huh.
So thank you, Petra. I received that.
Good. And y'all go receive that book too.
Thank you, girl. I appreciate it.
Girl, look, we're all trying to grow. And we're gonna do it together.
We can do it together.
We're going to do it together. That's it. That's going to be the goal. So I am so thankful for you joining me.
Thank you.
I am really, 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 really thankful. I wanted this year to be special with the people that I have relationship with and that I believe can impact others. And I think that you've done that. I think that your vulnerability, your transparency has helped today. And I'm hopeful that the girls got something from it. Because again, girl chat is girl chat. Like, we just hang out, we talk, they get what we give, and it's great. And I'm hopeful that they got something. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited.
So I cannot wait for the expo. So you guys make sure, if you're in the Gainesville area, that you get tickets. And I think you said you have a few more vendor spots. So
I do have a few more vendor spots. Our panel is full, and Petra Pendar is on our panel. She's not going to say that. We have a Boss Ladies panel, and we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about life and husbands and children. We're going to talk about all of that on the panel. And Petra Pendar is on the panel too. Thank you.
Of course.
Because the dopest girls live here in Gainesville.
They do. They
Just
do.
Let the world know.
Really, really, really,
don't
really
count
do.
us out.
No, don't count us out, because you're going to see us on the big stage one day.
Come on.
It's coming.
I'm ready. And I'm ready to cheer you on when I'm ready to cheer you on when I see you on that stage.
We're going to be cheering each other.
I'm ready.
I'm believing God for all of the things, because he created all of the things.
Yes, he did.
He did. So thank you all so much for joining us. I look forward to next month. Remember that Girl Chat is always the first Saturday of the month. You are going to love who I bring in for April. And make sure that you like and subscribe and you share this chat with your girls, because we are going to grow together. I love you all. See you later.